Think of the songs on Cowboy Carter as a Scoville scale. What's a Scoville scale? It's the measurement of spiciness or heat of chili peppers and other substances recorded in Scoville heat units. You know, hot, hotter, hottest. The first 5 tracks have a somber tone, but do not be fooled. The heat sneaks up on you. It's like coquito, Spanish eggnog. Then we have Smoke Hour 1, which is a prelude or intro to the next set of songs, which are a bit more upbeat and definitely spicier in tone. Then Smoke Hour 2, well, you can guess how these next set of songs go. Without further ado, let's dive into my thoughts on the songs, track by track. So Beyonce has been out. She was in Japan for what appears to have been a meet and greet and signing for albums. She was just at the iHeart Radio Music Awards and actually took home an award. Beyonce doesn't go out. I'm saying it as if I know her personally. Beyonce doesn't seem to go out a lot lately, but for this album, she's been making her rounds. She must be really proud of this body of work, and so am I. But I'll save why I'm connected to this album the most, second only to her self-titled album at the end of the video. Because I know y'all just here to hear what I have to say about the tracks. As previously mentioned, the first 5 tracks are what I can only describe as your traditional country or country-leaning tracks. Because as Beyonce said, this ain't a country album, it's a Beyonce album where genres are blended. No kidding. Track 1, American Requiem. Requiem already sounds like a Latin word. Looked it up, and it means a mass for the repose of the souls of people who have passed on. That intro and ending to the song sounds like a Catholic hymn, which is brilliant since Latin and Catholicism are intertwined. This song, man, easily one of my favorites on the album. It's almost spiritual. She's saying a lot. There's a lot of talking going on while I sing my song. Sounds like she's addressing her experience performing at the CMAs. Someone or some people were yelling derogatory things from the audience while she was performing. From what I understand, she goes on to talk about her deep southern roots, the grandbaby of a moonshine man. She's already told y'all where her people are from in formation. Daddy from Alabama, Mama from Louisiana. But she has to reiterate to let y'all know that making a country-inspired album is her birthright because of where she's from. Not that you need to be from the South to make country music. I mean, look at Taylor Swift and Keith Urban. One is from Pennsylvania and the other is from Australia. And then she addresses how people talk out of both sides of their mouths. Used to say I'm too country, and now they say I ain't country enough. I made a YouTube short about it before the album dropped, and then 2 people were in the comments saying no one ever called her country.
Child. Anyway, so.
And then she says, hello, my old friend. You changed your name, but not the way you play pretend. That is loaded. The R word hasn't gone away. It has just evolved. For things to stay the same, they have to change again. History repeating itself. But she's also advocating for unity by saying, can you stand with me? It's time to let love in. Also, I should mention, this is my interpretation of the lyrics, so take it with a grain of salt. There's no right or wrong. Next track, Blackbird. Blackbird initially reminded me of a song or songs I would hear in Camp Minnie Mickey, which, if you're an OG Disney Parks fan, you'll know it was an area of Animal Kingdom Park where Avatar Land currently is. And Camp Minnie Mickey was just a place where guests went to take pictures with some of the characters and watch the Lion King festival. And I remember just a lot of stripped down music from outdoorsy / nature focused cartoons playing. So like from the Jungle Book or a Country Bear Jamboree, which, you know, some people have claimed is the R word, but I'm not going down that rabbit hole. And then I found out that the song is a cover of a Beatles song. Very well done. It's very country, summer, late evening, sitting on the front porch or at a campfire. It's definitely a vibe. We're skipping 16 Carriages because I already talked about it in the previous 2 videos. Check them out. They are linked below. Protector. Wow. I remember Blue Ivy making her debut in 2012, and then again in Blue in the Formation video, and then again Brown Skin Girl, for which she got a Grammy, I think. And let's not forget how she killed it this summer during the Renaissance tour. Now, Protector is Rumi's moment. I can only presume that Sir's moment is next. Such a beautiful dedication to her child. My Rose sounds Pentatonix inspired. If you didn't know, they are an a cappella group of 5 from Texas. I know them from their Christmas songs. Their songs give me goosebumps. No instruments used to perform, just their voices. Pure talent. Then we have Smoke Hour 1 by Willie Nelson. Love this transition from somber, more intimate songs to something a bit more upbeat. We're skipping Texas Hold'em because I already talked about that one as well. In the last 2 videos, go check that out. Bodyguard. All I could think about when I saw the title was Uncle Rod, her former bodyguard who had a lot to say recently on TikTok. Anyway, the song is very indie, except for when she said turn around and John Wayne that ass. Savage. She may be talking about Jolene or any woman, or man, you never know, trying to drive a wedge between her and her husband. I don't know why this song reminds me of the chorus of Breathe Your Name by Sixpence None the Richer. Jolene. Dolly Parton introducing Jolene was just legendary, except Beyonce never mentioned what color Becky's hair was. She just said Becky with the good hair, but I'll allow it. My prediction was right about a Dolly P collab. The only prediction I got right, as a matter of fact. Refer to this video. I was wrong about the Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift collab. Anyway, Beyonce read Jolene for filth, as the kids put it these days. Where Dolly's version was a plea to Jolene, Beyonce's version is a warning. It's giving Nivea and Lucy Pearl, don't mess with my man. It's giving Carrie Underwood's savagery of Cowboy Casanova and Before He Cheats. Just brilliant. The background/choir like vocals added another level to it. I hear the choir and I think Michael Jackson's Keep the Faith. If you know, you know. Daughter. It is the perfect track to follow Jolene. It's very dark and haunting. Sounds like she's having dark fantasies and thoughts of the aftermath of deleting someone, perhaps Jolene, and immediately she's flooded with guilt and must go to the chapel and pray and sing hymns. Second verse is giving Gone Girl. You know that scene where she stabs the guy in an intimate moment and pretends she was R-worded by him, hence why she had to delete him? Sounds like Beyonce is talking about 2 different people and scenarios in this song. Would be great for a psychological thriller movie soundtrack or American Horror Story. I mean, Beyonce is just doing the damn thing on this album. She's putting her own spicy spin on classics, collabing with artists we never would think she would collab with, and singing in Italian, and introducing us to artists some of us wouldn't have known about otherwise. This track is for those who liked Haunted in the 5th album, the one that was the soundtrack to 50 Shades of Grey. Spaghetti reminds me of this Instagram pic. She was clearly dropping hints about the track, but again, I was clueless. Anyway, Linda Martell's intro for the song was very appropriate, as I definitely thought the track was out of place for this album. It's a great track, but I felt like it should have been on Act 1 or Lemonade. No matter, the beat at the beginning sounds like a callback to Formation. And the rest of the song sounds like Bills.
Bang! At the snap of my fingers, I'm Thanos. Silly me, why haven't I found another?
Once again, it's not a country album. It's a country-inspired Beyonce album. Now let's do some decoding because she was saying a lot. First off, the title of the song alone is coded, I feel. It's just another way of saying basic or bland. The way I understand this, she's admitting to not being as innocent as she looks. And she may not be in a gang, but she has guns and will use them to end you. I wonder if she means that quite literally or like creatively or musically, like ending someone's career or like in a singing battle, if there is such a thing. Next, it sounds like she or Shabusi, so that's the guy she's collabing with, is saying that someone broke some sort of protocol, aka snitched, and she's being watched, but she will deny if ever accused. Wow, I'll leave it there because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. Anyway, I wonder who all this smoke is for. Could it be for Erykah Badu, Khalees, or other people who claim she stole your songs or style and didn't give them credit? The Tiffany Red thing is too close to the release of this album, so I doubt it's for Tiffany Red. Also, she could be using the Taylor Swift tactic of using everything people say or write about her and making a song about it. People claim she and her husband end people's careers, or that she plagiarizes and denies it or doesn't address it. So now there's a song for that. Brilliant. Alligator Tears. It's low-key a diss. I mean, the title alone gives it away, but throughout the song, it's obvious. If you're not familiar, there's a saying called crocodile tears, which is an insincere display of grief because crocodiles don't shed tears. Now, she's replaced crocodile with alligator because those are more common here in the US, particularly in Louisiana and Florida. Now, crocodiles are native to Africa. Remember, she's from Texas, but her mom is from Louisiana. So she's basically saying, throw anything at me, I can handle it. You can't break me, and that pisses you off. Also, she's saying there can't be any growth without any difficulties or rain, and that after the rain, the sun comes out. So there's no giving up when the going gets tough. She could also be talking about giving her all in a relationship, and yet it seems like it still isn't enough. But she can't or won't leave because she's dependent on this person. Or she's saying relationships are work, and she's just not going to leave when it gets tough. Reminds me of her Verizon Super Bowl commercial. She's doing choreography in the rocket and then she falls. Looks up at the camera and says, "You can't break me." Very loaded. It sounds kind of masochist too. I mean, there are so many ways to interpret this song. That's what makes it such a good song. It's my third favorite on the album. Second favorite is 16 Carriages. Next track, Smoke Hour 2 by Willie Nelson. Introducing the spiciest tracks on the album. Starting off with Just for Fun, my fourth fave on the album. Sounds like the person she's talking about in this song is in some kind of trouble and is going down, but not without a big fight. Hence the I'm going all out just for fun. Or something is bothering the person and this person is going to go out as a distraction. I need to get through this or just get used to it. Again, very cryptic. The choir again. Man, the choir gives me goosebumps. 2 Most Wanted with Miley Cyrus. You know, it's not so surprising this collaboration. Miley has also previously done a cover of Jolene, and she is the goddaughter of Dolly. So this collab is giving 7 degrees of separation type shit. Their voices and harmonies blend so well together. It's giving Bluebird Cafe performance. The collab also reminds me of Ariana Grande and Demi Lovato's collab from 2020. I believe it's called Met Him Last Night. 2 unlikely artists to collab, and yet it's fireworks when they do. Anyway, 2 Most Wanted is definitely the country version of '03 Bonnie and Clyde. Levi Jeans with Post Malone. Was Jay-Z in the studio when they were recording this? This is very spicy. 21 and over only. Parental advisory. Explicit content. 50 Shades of Verity. Part of this song reminds me of Ariana Grande's 3435.
Baby, let me rattle that steak with my venom. Denim on denim on denim on denim. Give you high fashion in a simple way.
You might need a seatbelt when I'm riding. I'ma leave it open like a door, come inside it. Even though I'm wifey, you can hit it like a side chick.
This might be the first spicy song Beyonce has made featuring another male artist other than her husband in a while. There was the Sean Paul collaboration for her first album, Dangerously in Love, and check on it with Slim Thug and Bun B. I'm really trying not to read too much into this. I'm trying to see it for what it is. Simply a collaboration. Can we also just appreciate how she's been promoting this album with attire? She'd worn denim on denim on denim recently, promoting this song, of course. Brilliant. And honestly, when Levi's Jeans or Calvin Klein or even Marlboro is mentioned, the first thing that comes to mind is ranch, horses, country western. So this was the perfect title for a raunchy song. Flamenco, very short and Spanish sounding, hence the title. Flamenco is an aggressive, intense, dramatic dance, and I recently learned the art form was born in response to oppression and hardship. Another cryptic one. Honestly, my head hurts from trying to read between the lines in all of the songs. I wonder if she's talking about oppression of a collective marginalized group or feeling oppressed in a relationship. Next, we have Linda Martell again introducing what I'm going to call my anthem. The day she dropped the track list of the songs on IG, 48 hours before the album dropped, I was howling when I saw Yaya. I'm like, she named a song after me. Beyonce made a song using my name. Those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Yaira. It's from Ghana. It means blessing. Check out these other videos if I've piqued your interest. Anyway, people have always butchered my name, but then in high school, someone started calling me Yaya because there was a contestant on America's Next Top Model season 2, I believe, called Yaya. And so the name stuck. Anyway, in the song, she sampled Nancy Sinatra's These Boots, which of course, Jessica Simpson did a cover of in 2004 for Dukes of Hazzard. This song was also featured in Cruella 2021. I feel like Beyonce's introducing Act 3 with this because this performance is giving Tina Turner, and Tina was not exactly country. Oh, Louisiana, short and sweet. It's an ode to where her mom is from and an intro to some not so mainstream music from her neck of the woods, I'm assuming. These next tracks are for those who liked Deja Vu. Not Olivia Rodrigo's Deja Vu, but Beyonce's Deja Vu from her second album, B-Day. The video was very Louisiana inspired, as was Formation. And Desert Eagle is the first one. Isn't that like a firearm? Anyway, the song is another 21 and over song. Very spicy. Riverdance. Well, she fooled some of us with the title. Sonically, I was expecting the likes of this. But I get it, I think. It's supposed to be her version of Cajun Zydeco music or Louisiana folk music. Not sure if the two are the same. Please correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong.
Anyway, it's another masochist song.
And I like the juxtaposition of how upbeat the song is, but how dark, seemingly, the lyrics are. Reminds me of Happier by Marshmello and Bastille and Pretty Wings. Both are breakup songs, but one is upbeat and the other almost sounds like a serenade. Beyonce is really running with a violent narrative if you're keeping up, but it fits the country western theme. Guns, horses, cowboy hats, cowboy boots, and jeans. Suddenly, Chuck Norris's Texas Ranger comes to mind. Two Hands to Heaven. Another song that sounds like it should have been in Act 1. Purple colored mink, sugarcane, hitting them 16 switches. Must be a billionaire thing because I don't get it. I know what mink is, that's about it. Candy apple green, candy paint, swirling 24-inch spinners. Must be the car and rims. I do like this line though. I'm a stallion running, no candle in the wind. You won't ever see me coming or going, but you'll know whenever I'm here. She's definitely very elusive and unpredictable lately. Over the last 10 years to be specific. Like water, wherever you wanna go, that's fine with me. I'll never stop you, you'll never stop me from being whatever we need to be. Double entendre. Sounds like she's a ride or die wife. On the flip side, it sounds like she's also calling it quits in her relationship, like some Will and Jada shit. Separated but keeping up appearances of being an item. And of course, again, she doesn't have to be referring to herself. When I get up to walk, I want to feel weak. Beyonce, you nasty. You is nasty. Anyway, the ending loops right into the beginning of Tyrant. Tyrant. The beginning sounds very much like this song from The Skeleton Key.
My grandma told your grandma, I'm gonna set your flag on fire, talking about.
Which, of course, the setting of that movie was in Louisiana. And then the song quickly transitions into a hip-hop type beat. Those violins are giving psychological thriller or bad omen. which is fitting as she's talking about a hangman, which, if you didn't know, is a public executioner. Very common in the South back in the day, I'm sure. Maybe even common now, I don't know. The violins also remind me of Bad Girl by Danity Kane. Anyway, this song is giving Beyonce's version of Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero. Sweet Honey Bucking sounds like Baltimore club music to me. On first listen in my car, I wasn't feeling it. But now, after listening to it the third time, it goes hard. Just because it's the almost last track doesn't mean she was going to let up. Say things that I know will offend, wear that shit that I know start a trend. No lies told here. She gonna have the Bayhive wearing denim on denim on denim to her next concert. Just watch. The ending of the song again loops into the last track. Amen. I just love how this track is similar to the first. It gives me goosebumps. I know I keep saying that, but I truly mean that. The song reminds me of Lady Gaga's Marry the Night. There are church bells in that intro. To Marry the Night, that is. I remember Lady Gaga saying something in an interview about the correlation with that, the church bells, and her little monsters. If I find the interview, I will insert it here because she articulates it much better than I'm going to try to do.
They kept saying to him, I don't want to do anything I've done before. I don't want to sound like anything I've done before. I don't want to feel like anything I've done before. I want to be new. And I heard, down, 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 down. There's these church bells. He goes, your show is a religion. Since your fans are a cult. Dum, 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 dum. It's this epic music, just so big. And I started to cry. He said, what's wrong? And I said, I can't believe you hear me so big. So I sat down and I'm gonna marry the night. I won't give up on my life. Just right away, just like started singing.
Similarly, Beyonce has used church elements for this and the first track for obvious reasons. America as an institution is conservative and, dare I say, religious, believe it or not. We have In God We Trust on the dollar bill, but we also have the all-seeing eye, or what I like to call the Illuminati eye. Anyway, again, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. It's just a review of Beyonce's album, and Amen wraps up the album very nicely. I never used to understand when people would say a body of work is cohesive. Now I understand with this album. Like I said in the beginning, I connected to this album more than I have with any of her other albums, second only to the fifth album. And here's why. Well, for starters, I've said before that my music sensibilities started to change in the mid-2010s. It was my indie era. I still love indie music till today. I would go to Panera Bread on my days off when I lived in Florida and sit there with my laptop and do work. And the music playing at Panera was indie music, which I grew to love. Now, this album isn't indie, obviously, but it has some elements of indie music. That's one. Two, my mom doesn't remember this, but I remember when I was little in Cameroon, my mom had vinyl records of country artists, which I'm sure she got when she first came to the US back in the 70s to visit her older brother, my uncle. My uncle lived in Texas then. By the way, my uncle and aunt are the reason I am here in the US. So my mom had these records, and the ones I remember her playing were 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, Snowflake by Jim Reeves, and I think she had records by Don Williams and Kenny Rogers. And so this album feels like a full circle moment for me, and it certainly is for Beyonce, I'm sure. From being called country because of her accent to now making a country-inspired album. It only took me the first listen to love the first half of this album. The second half took me a second and a third listen to understand the lyrics, because you really have to read between the lines with these lyrics. Beyonce is not serving you lukewarm pop with this album where the lyrics are very direct and easy to understand. This one you have to think. Nothing is quite as it seems, or maybe I'm giving it meaning when there's nothing there, but then again, it's Beyonce. The devil is in the details for her. 9 out of 10 for me on this album. I didn't give it a 10 simply because some songs were too short. But I get it, with these many songs, every song can't be 4 or 5 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Again, stay tuned. I have my review of Eternal Sunshine coming up tomorrow, I believe, on the 27th. And then I have my review of Taylor Swift's album, The Tortured Poets Department. That is a very long title. So I'll see you guys tomorrow with Eternal Sunshine review. And yeah, bye.